Good morning. My name is Marcy. Ask a Pharmacist Corner. Welcome to my corner again. Please watch my YouTube channels and subscribe to them. Give comments and please tell me what you want me to talk about. My station, it's on consultation, pharmacy consultation, anything you need to know about any medications. I've been a pharmacist for over 24 years of experience, and I'm a pharmacy manager now for over 5 years. So I've been doing this forever. This is like really easy for me because I've been asked about a lot of medications and a lot of diagnoses and conditions. People always come to me, and actually they might go to another pharmacy or hospital pharmacy, but they always come to me for consultation, and I enjoy doing this. Today's topic recently has been talked about a lot, and by recent I mean over the last 2 years. A lot of concentration has been on vitamin D. Look and see what is vitamin D, why so many doctors test your blood work and want to find out the concentration of your vitamin D and prescribe the vitamin D. What is the importance of the vitamin D? And today we're gonna look at that. And we're also gonna look at the foods that have vitamin D and the supplements that have vitamin D. As a treat, we're gonna show you how to do a dessert the dessert that is made of vitamin D. What is vitamin D, and where do we get the vitamin D from? So vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin. So when it's absorbed into the body, it helps the absorption of calcium and phosphorus in our body. So it's very important. We get the vitamin D from the sun. The sun has ultraviolet B, and when we go in the sun, we get the ultraviolet. Our skin absorbs the ultraviolet B from the sun and changes it to vitamin D. So we get the vitamin D basically just from getting enough sun into our body, and the skin changes it to vitamin D. So that's why vitamin D is so important, that you stay in the sun. And moisturizer that we put on our skin, or the sunscreens that we use, the higher the SPF of a moisturizer, the less ultraviolet B we get from the sun. So that also affects the amount of vitamin D we absorb into our skin, or the ultraviolet band. So our skin does not make that much of it. However, the other thing is the lighter skin people, they absorb more of the ultraviolet B from the sun, and the darker skin people absorb less of it because their skin is darker. They cannot get enough of ultraviolet B. So supplement is necessary for darker skin. But please be advised to talk to your pharmacist or your doctor before getting a vitamin D supplement from over the counter. The importance of vitamin D for our body. Vitamin D is important for inflammation. It's important for the energy. It energizes, it increases our energy level. It's good for our bones. It's good for our muscles. It's good for muscle pain. It boosts our immune system so that we get resistant against the cold or infection. The vitamin D is good for inflammation. So vitamin D is good for prevention of cancers. For example, if our body lacks vitamin D for a long period of time, we can get breast cancer or colon cancer. So it helps that. Vitamin D also is good in children. So nowadays we use them, they're prescribed a lot in kids, and the reason for that is if they're low in vitamin D, the doctor prescribes it, and the reason for that is for their bones. So it helps to build their bones. It helps with their sleep, and it helps with their energy. So in children, it's good for that, for the building of the tooth bone as well. So it is prescribed for children also, which comes in liquid form, and we go on that a little bit further later on. But most of the time, for children, it has to be prescribed by the doctor. So the doctor has to do a blood work and tell them that they need to take vitamin D. The vitamin D is good for the skin. It's good for the hair loss. And there's a lot of uses of vitamin D, and it's very important for our body to have enough vitamin D. The sun, that's why I chose a place outside that has a sun, because it's very important to go in the sun. Now, the vitamin D comes in two different forms. It comes in vitamin D2. The vitamin D2 is ergocalciferol, and it's less potent than the vitamin D3, which is cholecalciferol. So there are two kinds of vitamins. So we have to make sure that you know about them, because when you go to the pharmacy, a lot of the times I've been asked the question, what's the difference between the vitamin D2 and vitamin D3? So the vitamin D2 has ergocalciferol, which is less potent than vitamin D3, that is cholecalciferol. So the potency of vitamin D3 is more, so it's stronger. And you get more of it absorbed into your body. The vitamin D can also come with calcium. The dosage in the calcium is very low. It's about 400 international unit. But with calcium, it helps the absorption of the calcium, and the calcium is good for our bones. The vitamin D dosage forms are in 400 unit, as I said, the 1000 unit, and the 2000 unit, and 5000. So the 5000 unit is the highest international unit dose that comes out. But you just don't want to take this by itself. You got to go see a doctor. You have to see a physician. The physician tells you that what dosage you take. Basically what they do, they do a blood work, and the blood work shows the level of your vitamin D, and if it's lower than normal, then they prescribe a very, very high dose vitamin D, which is taken only once a week, and that's vitamin D 50,000 unit. So the vitamin D3 50,000 unit, and you take that once a week for anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks, and after 8 weeks, the doctor checks your blood work again, or they just tell you to go to over-the-counter medications, vitamin D 1000 or 2000. Most of the time is the 2000 that they go to. The foods that have vitamin D is milk, soy milk, nuts, like almond has a lot of vitamin D in it, salmon, we have tuna, has a lot of vitamin D, yogurt is full of vitamin D, and of fruits we have peach, has a vitamin D in it, and some other fruits that I will tell you about when I'm doing my dessert, when I'm showing you how to make the dessert. So even the food we eat, we can watch to see which one has more vitamin D, and consume those, take those, because it's important that you watch your diet so that you do get enough vitamin into your body. But a lot of the times this is not enough, so the supplement is always recommended, especially if you feel low in energy, and you know, you have a lot of we're older and we get inflammation in our body, but always go see a doctor before you do take medication. Talk to the pharmacist. The pharmacist can also show you what to take and what is good for you to take. Sometimes the vitamin D has there is no side effect, but if you overdose it, you can have nausea, diarrhea. That a little bit of headache can cause that. Hi, welcome to the Ask Pharmacist Corner. As I promised, I'm going to show you some of the desserts that are very simple to make, but they're full of vitamin D, which is good for your body. So this is yogurt. You can use any kind of yogurt you want. Plain yogurt is a plain yogurt, and full fat is better. But if you want to use a slim fat, that's no problem either. You can do that. But they have more vitamin D. And this is peach, and peach is a fruit that has a lot of vitamin D in it, and it's very good for you. Even for your stomach, it's very good because it's full of fiber, but it's also full of vitamin D. So what I usually do is I'll just take a little bit of yogurt, enough for eating one time, and for your one dessert time, and then just add the peach to it, and you can slice it to however size you want, even smaller. And it's actually very delicious to eat. You don't have to buy fruit yogurt from outside. You can just make it like this. So the other fruit that's very full of vitamin D is avocado. And usually what I do with avocado, I make a dip out of it, and very simple to cut it. You just go around it and open it up and spoon it out of the peel like that. So very simple. But you can also make smoothie with any kind of fruit or peach you want with the yogurt. You can just put it in the blender and make the smoothie of it. Even with avocado, you can do that. You can put it in the blender, make it smooth, and add tomato. I like to add tomato to it. So also you can have it with sandwich. Another fruit that has a lot of vitamin D is the nuts, and the nutty almond has a lot of vitamin D, but they're really hard. So they're hard to eat. And so what I usually do, I add it to warm water and let it stand for a while, and then just peel it and use it like that. So when you put it in warm water, stay for an hour or two. You can easily peel it and use it that day. So usually what I do with almond, which is good to have like around 4 or 5 a day, it's very full of enriched in vitamin D, and it's good for your body. And I'm just gonna let it stand there for 1 or 2 hours, and then peel it and just really eat it. Just eat it like that. You can also add it to yogurt, or just eat it plainly. Thank you very much. Please go to my YouTube channel again and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a good day.